Welcome back to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell. This week's special guest is the Chavvy Hippy, a lad from Middlesbrough whose journey takes him from heavy partying to genuine healing and wellness. He talks about growing up in Middlesbrough, heading out to Spain to get the madness out of his system, living 5 wild years in Benidorm and eventually finding a new path through hosting wellness retreats. A story of chaos, change and learning who you really are when the noise stops. Thanks for listening and watching this episode.
I've had lots of moments, and if it was someone else, they call it their dark times. So I thought, I'm going to go to Spain and I'm going to party until I'm ill. And I was there for 2 years, and that's what I've done.
Welcome to the Good, the Bad and the Ugly podcast with me, Tony Murrell, and this week's special guest is Michael Harvey, aka the Chavvy Hippy. Really looking forward to sharing the Good, the Bad and the Ugly. How are we?
Thank you very much for having me on, Tony. I'm very honoured to be here.
No, listen, mate, I'm glad to have you here, mate, because, like I say, like a lot of our guests that we come across, we find them on social media, and I come across yourself, and I just found you really interesting. Not outrageous, but, you know, I thought, this guy's got something about him, and I thought, started watching a bit of your content and stuff, but it was really good what you were doing, very relatable, and, you know, what you do, and I came across you, it was your missus as well, your missus Rachel, reaching out and saying what you do in your community and beyond. But also, you have a story which certainly took you through the good, the bad and the ugly. Yeah. But you're still here to tell a story, so let's get right into it.
Yeah, man, let's go.
So where you from, where you grew up, family life and school life was like?
So, from Middlesbrough, same house all my life. Family life was, to be honest, mate, family life was a weird one because we were brought up with not much, to be honest, but we were very rich in love. Like we've got a very small family that were so close, and you know, it proved to me that that kind of size doesn't matter. It's the strength in the bond that you've got. So I was very, very blessed with that. I had a bit of a strange relationship with my dad. I kind of idolised him when I was younger. Mm-hmm. But I idolised him kind of for the wrong reasons, I guess. As I grew up, I kind of realised that he wasn't quite that good person that I thought he was. Sometimes a lot of the time, very selfish man. Other people thought he was amazing, but they didn't know the truth, you know. Yeah. So he was a struggle to deal with throughout my later years, but my mum, she gave me the soul that I've got. She's just incredible. Yeah. Just an incredible woman. My nana and granddad the same. My nana, she was like my best friend. So very, very blessed with them. So yeah, good and bad. Like the podcast.
Yeah. You know, but like you say, growing up and, you know, speaking a little bit about your dad and stuff like that. And I think as a kid, you know, you're growing up as a kid and you're thinking, you know, this is my dad, and you idolise him and you're looking up to him and all that. And as I think, as you get a little bit older, you sort of realise certain things aren't what they are and stuff. But, you know, did you have brothers and sisters as well?
No, well, I've got a half brother from my dad's side. Mm-hmm. Who, yeah, we were quite close when I was growing up. We were quite close when I was growing up. Didn't see an awful lot of him, but yeah, we had a pretty good relationship, to be honest. Yeah.
What was school like for you, mate?
School was all right, you know. I had a pretty good school life. I was kind of, I don't want to say I was never one of the cool kids, don't get me wrong, but I was, you know, I was never bullied, I was never picked on. I was quite fortunate like that, and I always kind of look back and think I was one of the nice a lot in school. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had a good friendship group, which a lot of them I still see quite often. So I had pretty good school life. I was quite shy in school.
Was you?
Yeah. So I was really skinny in school. I had the same size head then as I do now. I look like a lollipop. Big massive head, big massive ears, and just this little skinny body. Luckily enough, I grew into my head as I got older. So I was quite shy with girls.
Yeah.
I was very confident, but very shy when it come to girls. So I only ever had one girlfriend in school, and I think I spoke 2 words to her the whole time that we were together. And we were together for 2 weeks, and I spoke 2 words to her, I think.
Yeah.
And I was dead shy. I was dead shy with girls, but I always remember I had a teacher called Miss Allenton. I was actually her first student, and she always used to get me to do like Elvis in the class, and I was always a little bit of a joker, and I used to just want to make people happy, make people smile, and bring a bit of joy to the place and a bit of energy, you know.
Yeah. So was you sporty in school or outside the school and stuff? Football, boxing, anything like that?
So I loved football when I was growing up. That was sort of like passed down from generation to generation. My granddad was a big football fan. My dad was a big football fan.
All Borough fans?
All Borough fans. Loved playing football. I was shite at it, but just loved playing it. I was actually better at cricket, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to play football, I never followed that cricket route. So the headmaster in my secondary school, he was like county cricket manager, and he always used to say to me, "Oh, come down and play, or come down and trial."
You could see you had something about you.
Yeah. I used to go, no, I want to play football with the lads. Which maybe I should have, but
you never pursued it, no.
Yeah, but I don't know. When you're younger, you just want to have fun with your mates.
Of course you do, yeah.
You know, so.
So after school and stuff like that, where did your life pan out from there? Work-wise, career path, anything like that, or?
So when I come out of school, you can probably relate to this yourself. I was pushed into you need a trade by my granddad. So I went and done plumbing at school, at college, and from there I started working with this fella, and it just completely put me off. He was a dodgy plumber, and he had me doing like gas pipes and all this and fitting houses like with the gas systems. I was only like 17 or something, and it turned out that he wasn't Corgi registered neither. So I was there doing his work, but he wasn't registered to even do it, so we shouldn't have been doing it at all. And yeah, it just put me off completely.
You just seen a side to it where you were like, whoa.
Yeah, this like dodgy builder, no cowboy builders type thing.
Yeah.
So, and then I ended up getting a job on the steelworks, which is obviously massive round our way. And ended up working on the coke ovens, what was called the coke ovens, where we just produce coal. And then I was there for about a year, and then kind of left there and went to a few different places, and I ended up abroad. I ended up in Spain, so I lived abroad for like 10 years.
Working away, like.
Yeah, so I was living in Spain. I always seen a little bit more of a potential in me than what I was giving myself credit for. You know, going out on a weekend and
living
going
for
out
the weekend.
Yeah, and making good money at like 18 on the steelworks and stuff, and I was blowing it all in a weekend in like 3 nights, and you know,
pissing it up the wall.
Yeah,
basically.
pissing it up the wall, and I always seen something a bit more in myself, but I also had this party inside of me that I just loved it. Yeah, I just loved it, and I loved it because I guess that thing that I was saying earlier, like I loved sort of being in a party and people laughing and making people laugh, and you know, we're having a dance and we're going to places and dancing. I just love dancing. I love like being around good vibes and that type of thing. And obviously when we were younger, we didn't know anything else, but that come with drink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where now that's completely changed for me. So yeah, I kind of.
Did you take yourself away from all that? That's why you went to Spain, was it? Because
no, I went to Spain because I thought I'm going to go get the party out of me. So I thought I'm going to go to Spain and I'm going to party until I'm ill, basically. And I was there for 2 years, and that's what I've done. I basically partied till I couldn't party anymore.
Really,
and but it got it out of me. And then
did it put you off it then? Did it?
It put me off, and when I came back, I'd hit a point where I'd partied that hard because I was doing like 6 nights a week.
Was you just drinking, and was you taking drugs as well?
No,
or
just on the drink all the time.
Was it just on the drink, was it?
Yeah. And I ended up ill this one day, and I was laying in the settee, and I was going into like cold shivers and all this, and sweating and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh, it's just another bad hangover. And then next, on the night, my throat ended up closing up, and I could barely breathe. And I couldn't eat anything because I couldn't get anything down. And tried to have a lolly, iced lolly, not to cool it down. And it felt like razors going down my throat. And I was like, oh, what's going on here?
This isn't right.
No, so the next day I got up and I went to the hospital in Spain. And they ended up having to inject me with 2 injections. I don't know what they were, like steroids or something, to open my throat back up. And I was like, right, okay, this is the end of it here. Like, I've got to take this as a sign of, right, the party's over now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so that was when it, like, the realisation came in that, right, I've done what I came to do.
Was it just lager you were drinking, or was you banging to the shorts, not the vodka and all?
Everything.
That dodgy vodka in Spain. And
yeah.
You go to Benidorm or somewhere like that. It's
That's
like
where it was.
Drinking fucking
I lived in Benidorm.
The icer in it, you know what I mean? Was it Benidorm?
Yeah. I lived in Benidorm for like over 3 spells. I lived there for 5.5 years.
And it's just...
Yeah. And when you live there, right, you get to know like the people behind the bar, and they're like, they'll pour you a pint of vodka, yeah, and they charge you like €1. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone else getting charged like €5, so because they know you and you're a local, you get the cheaper prices. Doesn't mean you get the better vodka though.
I was gonna say you get a proper dodgy vodka there,
yeah. So that led me onto this, like, onto a bit of a different path really, and I end up leaving there, coming back. I opened like a graffiti shop in Middlesbrough, and then I went and got a job in Dubai. Went to Dubai for like 3.5 years or something, as a bar manager, and I ended up going over there for a bit.
Even though you were off the ale and all that, like, or...
Yeah, I was I wasn't completely off the ale. I was like, it just wasn't the same as before. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't cut out my life completely.
You could manage it better.
Yeah. So for the first year that I was in Dubai, I think I drank like 5 times or something.
Really, yeah.
So I was managing it so much better.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, my whole thing then was progression. Like tuning into creating that better life.
And was there someone that said that to you? Was it like your mum or your nan or your granddad, or was it just yourself? That's it now, I'm done with it. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it was probably it wasn't anyone within the family. I think it was more like seeing friends and people within my circles, and having conversations with them and seeing how well they were doing and stuff like that. And we were probably just having a lot of conversations with each other, and that was the whole thing, like within that circle of friends, of like, you know, let's do better, let's be better type of thing.
It's good that, you sort of can do that, because there's a lot of people in life that, like you say, you know, when it still goes on, where people do live for the weekend, and listen, that's up to, everyone's entitled to do what they want to do. I'm not sitting here and being a hypocrite because I've done that myself. Do you know what I mean? We've all done it. But what I mean is, like, it gets to a point where you think, I need to knock this shit on the head now, because like you say, you're going out on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially if you're at home and you're working all week and you want that bit of a blowout and whatever. People are entitled to do that, but it's just how people manage it, you know what I mean? But like you say, you get to a point you want to do better for yourself. You want to go on another holiday or another 2 holidays and whatever, and you've got to make them sacrifices, where if you go in the boozer and you're spending £100 a night in the boozer, where you're in there 3 nights of the week, that £300 could be going off a holiday or whatever, or you buy stuff for your house and whatever. But when you come back from Dubai and that, is that why, when it come to a point where you thought, I'm going to make change here?
No, so I went back from Dubai. I went back to Benidorm, and I bought a bar.
Did you?
Yeah. And I had a bar called Harvey's Bar, and it was booming. It was brilliant. And yeah, so it just become, so I opened it. It was like the only house music bar in the new town, because all the house music was in the old town. So I had like DJs in there, and we used to do like private hires, so you could private hire the full venue for like you and your hen party or whatever. And we showed the borough games. The capacity was like, by law, was 56 people. Some match days we had like 300 people in there. It was absolutely ridiculous, to a point where the bar over the road closed down, and I put a screen facing out of the road, and people were sat on the terrace over the road watching the screen and buying drink out my bar and going and sitting on the terrace of the bar that was closed. Honestly, it was booming. But then that got to a point where it spiraled out of control a little bit. You know, friends coming over that I haven't seen for a while, and they're like, "Oh, have a drink," you know. And then next thing, you're out with them, and then it's a strain. Like at the time, I had the missus, and it's a strain on the relationship, and you know, all these different things, and that kind of spiraled a little bit, and that was the one. That was the
that made you sort of like, right, this needs to change.
Yeah. So I ended up selling the bar, and we done really well out of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I say me. I done really well out of it. And that was when I moved back home and sort of got my shit together a little bit. I mean, I don't want to discredit what I'd done along the way. You know, I'd done a lot along the way, and I'd done really well for myself, and a lot of growth, and a lot of financial gains along the way, and a lot of lessons learned and things like that. And I don't want to discredit that part of my life, because it's a part of my journey.
Yeah.
And it depends what you want. You know, a lot of people are doing that, and fair play to them if they can run a bar and go out 4 nights a week and things like that. But my mind couldn't handle that.
But that takes a lot to explain it like that, because a lot of people, you know, will make out that they can do it, and then they do it, you know what I mean? But what you're saying, it's not discrediting. You know, you've got to take some rough with the smooth there, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's
the good with the bad.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. But the thing is, though, when you're doing them type of things, and you look and you know you're wanting to make change, and listen, this is what it, you know, you could be stuck in that lane all your life.
Yeah.
But you want to move out to the outside lane, and you want to be fucking moving on and stuff like that. And by doing that, you know, it's like you're saying, you know, you've done well, you know, and that's what it's about. It's about having a go. It's taking a risk, having a go. Because if you never have a go, you'll never know.
Yeah.
And there's no wrong if you fail. That's no problem. You just go again. You have another go, you know what I mean? And
no such thing as a failure, is there?
Exactly. And I think a lot of people are scared to make that move and stuff like that. But for anyone who doesn't know about the Chavvy Hippy, how did the name come about?
So, I used to come, well, when there were a thing, there was a thing called the Awakened Souls in Liverpool. Mark's sister Nikki is a good friend of mine, and we were friends in Dubai. So I started coming down for their events and stuff, and that was when I really kind of tuned into the more spiritual side. And we done like a weekend event over in St Helens, maybe.
St Helens, yeah.
It's not too far from Liverpool, is it? St Helens.
It's not far, no.
So we done it over that way, and I was just chatting to someone there, and we were having a good old chin wag, and you know, about each other's journeys and stuff like that, and you know, what we're trying to do to better ourselves, and blah blah blah. And I was dressed the same, with my trousers tucked into my socks, and you know, with my hoodie on and my cap on. And she sort of like took a step back. I tell this story all the time. She just sort of like looked me up and down, she went, "You're like a fucking Chavvy Hippy, you aren't you?" and I went, I sort of processed a little bit, and I was like,
light bulb moment, was it?
I was like, yeah, I guess it's true, yeah. And it just stuck with me, that name there, it stuck with me. And I mentioned it a few times, and people were like, "Yeah, you are like a Chavvy Hippy, aren't you?"
It's got a ring to it.
Yeah. So I held on to it until I was ready, really. until I was ready for the world to meet the Chavvy Hippy.
So that meeting in St Helens with that lady and having a little bit of a chin wag and she
Yeah.
just give you a bit of a look up and down, went,
Yeah.
look like a bit of a Chavvy Hippy.
Yeah.
But what was it like? So when she said that to you, have you just gone, wow, I'm gonna grip that. And when the time's right, I'm gonna build something.
I think I loved it when she said it, because it was like, do you know what? It rings so true with me, because I am living both them worlds.
Yeah.
I'm still the chav, I'm still the council estate kid or whatever.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean? But I am trying to better myself every day.
You're making change and stuff.
Through whatever means that is, you know. So when she said it, I was like, oh yeah, it's a really good interpretation of me. And then when I came away and kind of processed it a little bit more, and I was like, do you know what? This could be something, this. It really could be something.
I can build something, yeah.
Yeah. And I held on to it for a long time, to be honest, through probably fear of judgment.
Yeah, yeah. Was there a defining moment that pushed you to embrace this identity?
So I've got one of my best friends, Jess. She was the one who originally pushed me to do it.
To go for it?
Not under the Chavvy Hippy, but so, I guess I'll start. So when I was 17, right, I started doing charity work, and that's where the soul comes from our mum. Yeah, and I've always been involved in charities. I've had my own charities. I've sat on boards. I've done a lot of donation things.
Yeah, yeah, raising money and stuff like that.
So I've always had it in me that I want to help. Yeah, and she knew that about me. And she knows that I've kind of got the confidence to push myself out there. And she was like, because we were talking about what the Waking Souls were doing in Liverpool, and I was saying, oh, I'd love to do what Mark's doing.
Up here.
Up my ways, you know. Yeah, what he's doing for his community, I'd love to be able to deliver that to people around our way and show them that there's a better way of life, and you know, all these things. We were having these conversations, and she just basically like said, made a group and said, oh, well then we'll go and do it. So we started like with this little private group, and we put these events on the beach, and I was just doing it for like 3 people at a time, taking them for like meditations and stuff down the beach. And she kind of pushed me to having the confidence to do it for people. So I've got a lot to thank her for, because without her, this whole thing wouldn't have been anything. You know, so she kind of pushed me into doing that. And then I still obviously had that Chavvy Hippy thing in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, she originally pushed me, and then what happened was, so my dad passed away, and people were messaging me, because he used to live in Berlin when I was a kid, and people were messaging me from over there. And this woman messaged me, who's a doctor, psychiatrist, or
yeah.
And she messaged me, and we were just chatting away about our dad and about old times and blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Oh, what are you up to now?" She was like, "Oh, I'm over in Greece, creating these psyche retreats." And I was like, "Oh, brilliant." She was like, "What are you up to?" And at this point, I was having a bit of time off. I was living a bit of van life. Tempted to sort of roll the Chavvy Hippy out, but I didn't know where to start it and what have you. And
It was on a leash, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it was on a leash. Like, I was kind of like, oh, I want to do it, but you know, will I be judged by my old Chavvy lot? And so I was like, oh, do I, don't I? And she was like, so what you doing now? I was like, oh, this. And I told her about the wellness stuff, and she just said, you're the missing piece of the puzzle of the retreat. Do you want to come over for a couple of months to Greece? And I was like, yeah, I'd absolutely love it. She was like, sound, we'll pay for the flights, we'll pay for your accommodation, come over and work on the retreat and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, and it was in that moment I thought, without even pushing myself here, look what I've achieved. I've got to go and work on a retreat in Greece for 2 months. And that's without even announcing anything.
Putting it out on the platforms and stuff like that.
And I thought, if someone's willing to give me that opportunity and take a risk on me, then why aren't I taking a risk on myself? You know?
Yeah.
So, pretty much around that time, I got this 3D graphic designer, and I went, I want a logo making, the Chavvy Hippy. He said, what do you want? I said, I want someone in a meditation pose with a New Balance t-shirt on, a pair of Berghaus bottoms with his trousers tucked into his socks and a cap on. And I said, and I want that to be my logo. So I got that created. And then even then, I went to Greece, and it was a whole thing of out of sight, out of mind. So I'm going to roll it out while I'm in Greece. And then just all the love that I got back. And I was like, I'm 6 months behind because of, I created my own barriers. I created my own.
You didn't want to let it out. You were just holding back on it.
Yeah. So I created my own barrier, this whole comfort zone, if you like. But really, you're just uncomfortable in there, aren't you? Because what you want to really do is past that comfort zone. So I really held myself back for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then I rolled it out when I went over there, and it's.
This is the place this is where you deserve to be. You know what I mean? This is what I want. I want a bit of this, like.
Yeah.
Do you know when you delivered that? You went over to the retreat and all that, and you're doing what you're doing, and you're delivering. Hiya everyone, sorry to interrupt this episode, but here's a quick one from me. If you're enjoying the podcast and you enjoy what we're doing, you can now buy us a coffee. It's a simple way to keep those stories coming. No subscription, just that one-off bit of support. The link's in the description. Now back to the episode. The first time you done it, was you nervous or whatever, and did you just go bang, just fire it out?
The first thing that we actually done a sunset wellness yacht. Yeah. So we were doing them weekly, and we literally took this yacht out into the middle of the ocean, and we done basically a replication of the self-love session in the middle of an ocean on this yacht, which was, even to this day, it was mind-blowing. But we got there, and it's like I'd been doing it forever. No nerves. Slipped into it, it was like, this is what I was meant to do. I just felt at home.
Yeah, that's what you think, this is it, this is what I want to
this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah.
What's been the most uplifting and positive part of your journey so far?
For me personally, there's been a couple of moments. So we threw a beach event this summer. We threw 3, and it was where we done the first ever meditations. Yeah, and we could only ever get 3 people there. We threw 4 of them, and we could only ever get 3, maximum of 3 at each one, and they were free, completely free. But I believed in what we were doing. And then fast forward 18 months, 2 years. And at the first one, we sold 70 tickets. At the second one, we sold 130 tickets. Yeah. And there was a moment in that where we'd just finished our practices, and the whole thing was was created to help other people to push their platforms. Now I've got a decent platform and decent community, and you know it's thriving, and people within it are thriving. So I want other people to be able to use that to push themselves. So the whole thing was created to bring other practitioners in, to bring other businesses in. I delivered like the meditation, but we had someone come in and do yoga, we had someone come in and do the breath work, we had someone come in and sing, we had all these different people who were doing amazing things in their own community. But I wanted to give them the opportunity to deliver to 130 people on a beach Like, they might never get that opportunity, but I wanted to give people that opportunity. So that was why that was created. And we just finished the practices, and I was facing the other way because it's sand dunes.
Yeah.
And my best mate, Ben, he was there. He was with the drone. So I walked up to him and he went, look at that there. And I turned round and there was like, so we had this group doing cold dips and there was like 110 people just walking towards the sea.
And you captured that, like...
Captured that moment. Just looking at that there. People arms round each other, high-fiving each other, like, way, like... And I was just like, I've created this. And that moment there, like...
Was you emotional?
Oh, big time.
Did you cry?
Yeah, so like, it brings a tear to you because you just such a proud moment to know that where I'd come from, of 3 people, to believing in what we were doing and pushing it and, you know, staying consistent and knowing that what we're bringing is helping people. And then just to see that was just unreal. And the second moment was about a month before that. I was in Ibiza and I'd been introduced to someone who'd lived there for like 30 years. And I was meeting him because he was going to show me venues to do retreats in Ibiza. And I was sat in this cafe. I was having the most unbelievable time with a couple of good friends. And I was sat in this cafe, sun shining, having some nice food. And I was waiting to see this bloke, waiting to get picked up. We just sold the 50th ticket for the first beach event. So like that, just that milestone alone, like my life, I was just sitting there just thinking, my life's fantastic. I get to help all these people. I've got a fantastic relationship. You know, my girlfriend, she's amazing. Like, I'm in this beautiful place. And just holding on to that. And then I went and viewed this venue and the woman was unreal. Like, she was just such a lovely woman. And the place was called La Currentera, which means the healer in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And then we just booked the retreat in there, and then like it just felt like it needed to happen then, and like this is a big milestone. And I've jumped back in my car because I rent a car, and I've sort of started sending a voice note to Rachel, and I've had to turn the voice note off, and all these things were just happening at once. The 50 tickets, the great relationship, the great life that I've built, the great mindset that I've built, the milestone of like setting a retreat in Ibiza, and how far we've come in such a short space. Because at this point we were only like 8 months into the Chavvy Hippy, and this big smile just come to my face, and it took me 20 minutes to get from where I was back to my hotel, and I just cried my eyes out all the way.
You're overwhelmed, like just it all come at once.
Yeah. And I just had this massive smile on my face, and I was just crying my eyes out all the way. Like, I had to turn the voice note off because she was about weeing me blubber. I couldn't even get my words out at that point. I was just like, right, okay, put my phone to one side, and I just had this massive smile on my face, and I was just crying my eyes out, and I was just like, what I've built for myself, like for me, for my community, for what, you know, like for the family, what I'm building here and how I'm helping people. And that's what I feel like I'm born to do. I'm born and I'm put on this universe to help people.
Yeah.
So to have that milestone moment there that was one of my proudest moments of my life.
Proudest moments.
Yeah.
What struggles have you faced along the way in trying to live in authenticity?
I get a few people like sort of sniggering, laughing, you know, taking the piss. Like I say, because I'm from that background, there's always going to be that.
Listen, you can't please everyone, can you? You know what I mean?
That's it. And you know, I got a random message a couple of days ago from this girl from Middlesbrough, and I don't know her. I've never met her before. She just started following me on Instagram, and we have a couple of friends in common. I've got a big group of friends down in like Brighton way, and she seems to know them somehow. I don't know how that aligned. And the whole message was about how she's a Chavvy Hippy, which, by the way, we get a lot of people going, I'm a Chavvy Hippy as well. She was like, I feel like I'm a Chavvy Hippy and I really want to push myself to do what you're doing. And I think it's inspirational that you put yourself out there, because essentially you're putting yourself out there for ridicule, aren't you?
You know, you've got to put yourself out there for what you're offering and what you're trying to provide, you know, for people and stuff. And you're trying to help people along the way and on the journeys and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of people can either go to rehabs or people can go to do... But a lot of people don't get... People that we've had on this podcast said they've been to rehab, and listen, it's worked for some people, do you know what I mean? But certain changing the lifestyle, meditation, cold water dips, mind therapy, doing all of that, like, and I'm going to be one of them people who probably turn my nose up. We had Mark Scanner on the other week, and it was just me and Mark were having a good chat about it, and really taking a little bit of what's naming yourself, you know, thinking about yourself and your well-being and stuff like that, and you know, concentrate on yourself, work on yourself and stuff. And I've always been like, whatever.
Yeah.
And we had a good speak about it, and like you say, when people, it's what works for you. I think that's what the thing is, where someone who could have similarities, whether you've like, whether it be drink, whether it be drugs, whether it be, you know, fitness, you know, and stuff like that. A lot of people go out of the comfort zone, do you know what I mean? Some people, you know, bad anxiety because like they could only, you know, when they've had a drink, a bevy down them and whatever. But what you're doing and what other people like Mark Scano, and there's so many great groups out there, there's so many, but everyone's got their own authentic spin on it or twist on it, you know, and I think it's great what you're creating and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
I mean, Mark, very, very inspirational. What he's doing is unbelievable. Like, what a great guy.
Oh, he's a lovely fella.
Yeah, he is a lovely fella. Yeah, he's a lovely bloke. And yeah, like I say, very inspirational. I see what he's doing, and I feel inspired by what he's creating. And I always say this, that, say for example, me and Mark could say exactly the same thing, yeah? But two people might align with the two people. Do you know what I mean? Say if me and Mark both said, I don't know, you need to get up and train every morning, that's how you beat life, for example, and we might say exactly the same thing, but someone might not align the same with Mark as they do with me, and someone else might not align with me and they'll align with Mark. So you're not everyone's cup of tea. You're not always going to be. But yeah, I've had a few people along the way, and they snigger and they laugh, and I've had a few messages from like old friends from along the way, and you know, sort of like having a pop and things like that. But I'm at a point now where I just want to help people. Yeah, if people want to laugh at it, they can, but I know what I'm doing is good for people. Yeah. I know what I'm bringing is changing lives. Yeah. The same as Mark is doing. The same as potentially that person who's messaged me is doing. Like, you know, we're all changing lives in different ways.
That's what it's about, though, as
well.
well.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That's what it's about, making change, because you don't want to be stuck in that rut, and it's just like, and I think a lot of people are scared of change, do you know what I mean? And there's people like yourself and Mark and many others out there, you know, are trying to help people, but at the end of the day, I just think people need to, you know, have a little look, and, you know, if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But don't drop in people's inboxes and start giving them a bit of grief and that, and I find, or even commenting, you've got nothing nice to say and stuff like that. you know, I see a lot of that on social media where someone's doing good and people find bad stuff, you know, it's social media's mad, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people's insecurities as well, though, isn't it? I often think that, like, I love training. That's a non-negotiable for me. Like, I train as hard as I can because it's great for my my mindset early in the morning. So I like to train early in the morning. But I see a lot of people like slating what other people are doing training wise, but I'm just like, well, if it's working for them, why are you bothered? Do you know what I mean? Like I do kettlebell shred fast every morning off the app. I love it because I'm quite intense. I live life quite intense.
Yeah, you're pushing yourself all the time.
So it's perfect for me because it's a hard workout every morning. But it's not for everyone. But I see people, I don't really like weight training, but I know that certain people it's working for. So I'm not going to go, oh, don't be weight training, mate, it's shite. Like, if it's working for you, brilliant. Like, if you feel like you're better in your life every day by weight training, fantastic. Do it to your heart's content.
Yeah.
Because whatever is making you better every day, that's all we need. We just need people just trying.
Exactly.
Just trying harder.
Instead of hating on and just fucking being dead negative and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely crazy. What's been the hardest challenge in staying true to who you are?
Probably that, really. That whole not getting dragged back into an old lifestyle, you know, because I've still got all the same friends as I had before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like to think that I inspire some of them maybe, and we all inspire each other at some points. But there's always that kind of like potential temptation to go back to a former self. Not that I ever would, but there's always that temptation, you know.
Of course it is, yeah.
Because you remember, do you remember how good it was when we done that? And, you know,
yeah.
Remember how good it was when we went on that lads all day and we all
reminiscing about
yeah. So trying to just mindset, willpower, trying to stick on the right path, you know, without slipping into old habits.
Yeah.
Is probably a tough one. More on a mindset basis, isn't it?
You're being tough for the mind, and like being, you know, like you say, thinking about things, and like you say, you reminisce, you're going to have that, and the temptation is going to be there when you've got mates and stuff like that. But listen, if they're going to support you and they understand the journey that you're on and what you're creating, and they can see it, that, you know, that's the proper mates and that. But what's a raw or unfiltered moment from your journey that really shaped you?
So I think the rawest moments are just for people to know that there's no perfection. Like, I'm not perfect.
Who is?
Yeah. But what I mean by that is, like, I try to be the person that I preach to be. Yeah. But although, like, I do like to think that I'm a good energy and I bring some value to people, but every day is not perfect. Every day isn't like roses and sunshine and rainbows, and, you know, I
you
do
have bad days, don't you? You have bad days. Yeah. I mean, you could get out of bed not feeling 100%, but you're not on it that day. You know what I mean?
But what I would say is that I don't particularly have bad days. I've got quite a good mindset, me. I've got quite a good focus on life. That, yeah, we might be having bad moments. Like, they could potentially last for a couple of days where you're feeling maybe a little bit down, a little bit out of energy, whatever, and, you know, maybe not totally aligned. But I always just think, I always find myself coming out of that anyway. So just believe in the process. But for people to know that, you know, this journey isn't perfect, and no one's is going to be.
As well, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect for anyone, and my life is nowhere near perfect. But I try to better it every single day, mate. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one. Has there ever been a time where you felt completely lost or doubted yourself?
Probably when so I've never had like when this is what I'm saying about my mind. Like I've had lots of moments, and if it was someone else, they'd call it their dark times. Yeah. Like there's been a lot of significant moments within my life where if it was someone else, they would probably say, oh, the darkest times of my life. But I've never really looked upon it like that. Like even when I was in Spain, I had the bar and it spiraled out of control, and I was having a bad time with the missus and blah, 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 my ex-missus. And really looking upon that moment, them moments, like I was probably depressed then, but I never recognised it then, and I don't recognise it as that now, but other people might tag it as that. So yeah, that they were probably the most challenging times, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably like my most challenging times where I probably doubted myself most. And to be honest, that was a time when like my dad lived in Spain and he was around me all the time, and a lot of the insults came at that point, and a lot of the things that he used to say to me, and I used to sort of like refer to it like as if I was a tree, and he was like chopping at my ankles all the time.
Relentless, was it?
Yeah, relentless. Useless little fucker. You'll never amount to anything. Even though I had this successful business, piece of shit, this, that, da 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 da. And he was just insult all the time. And then he just made life challenging for me all the time. So that was when I probably doubted myself most, and really they should have been probably my darkest times, or they might have been my darkest times.
But you just obviously at that time I just
sort of cracked on, and maybe I look back on it now and
that's a strong mind, that, because like you say, anybody, if someone's relentlessly giving you grief, but if it's your dad or whatever, or a family member, and of course it's going to hurt, but then you've not shown that, you know what I mean? You just like cracked on with what you're doing, you're in your lane, you got your bar, you're doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's not letting it affect you, where a lot of people would like their head would go, or you know what I mean? And it's just like the way you put that together there is like, it could have been one of my darkest times, but it didn't really, you've got a strong mindset to me. That's the way you come across, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know, like we can look at certain parts of our life, and do we blame that for our potential demise, or can we use it to inspire us to be better? I don't know, it just depends how you look at it. And I'm not saying I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that I've had it worse than anyone else, because I know that I haven't. I'm just making an example of, that was what was happening to me at that time, and I never kind of used it as a reason for anyone to feel sorry for me, I guess. And the thing is, the character that he was, he kind of like he wanted people to feel sorry for him a lot of the time, and he had that victim mentality quite a lot. Where I was sort of inspired by my mum, where she was like, you just get up and get on. Yeah.
That's the attitude.
Yeah.
That's the right attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. I mean, it's worked for us. My mum's, like I say, she's just fantastic, and she always sort of taught me that it's okay to feel sad at times, but get up, get on. The world don't stop for no one.
Yeah, and I think that's the old school, innit? Like
Yeah.
that's the attitude to have. But that's tough that, you know, that's really, it's tough love that, innit? You know, listen, you're allowed to feel sad.
Yeah, yeah.
But look, them dark days or whatever it is, you might feel a little bit, but to the following, let's go at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's that attitude, but what's your advice would you give to someone who feels like they don't fit in anywhere? You know, anyone who might come to one of your, what's your names, you know, one of your things that you put on and stuff. Anyone who's feeling like they don't fit in anywhere and that, what advice would you give to anyone making that first step on that?
So it's easier said than done, but you know, putting yourself out there and going to different events. I've got a friend who asked me once, what should I go to, like in the spiritual space, if you like. And I said, do the same as I done, go to everything. Meet as many people as you can, go to as many events as you can. But for a lot of people like me, it's easier to do that because I just love being around new people, love meeting new people. But I would say just try it. Push yourself out outside that comfort zone, because what we find is that comfort zone is our uncomfort zone, and pushing them barriers and pushing the comfort zone is where life truly begins. We find new people, we find new communities, we find things that we never thought we'd love, and we find a true calling for. You know, if you asked me 6 years ago about meditation, I'd be like, shut your dick. What about meditation?
I thought that's why I'm laughing, because you know what you just explained. It's like exactly, I just knew I was going to get that reaction.
Yeah, like, yeah, if you asked me in a pub 6 years ago, like, breathwork, meditation, I'd be like, what are you on about, mate? But because I started exploring, going to different places, meeting new people, I found this new life. So, yeah, pushing them comfort zones, pushing them barriers, meeting new people, going to different communities, different events. You know, there's no cap to how far you can sort of come with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say go balls deep and go for it and go meet new people.
It's a great answer. How do you balance the different sides of your identity day to day, the Chavvy Hippy every day, and work and stuff like that?
So I know the importance of the, let's call it the hippie side. Yeah, I know the importance of it now, because it's helped me so much in progressing. You know, the meditation, breath work, journaling, affirmations, all these things are just as important as the gym for me. And I know that how far it's brought me forward within my life, that it has to be part of my life for the rest of my life. Also, I need to constantly practice so that I know that I'm delivering it properly to people.
Yeah.
So I need to be finding new ways of doing it and things like that. So not only on a personal level, but also on a professional level, if you like. I don't like to call it a business, because I love doing it.
Yeah.
And I do it because I want to help people, and you know, it's not for the financial gain. I do it because I love it, and I never like to call it a business, but I guess it is a business at the same time. So I need to be, you know, exploring new ways and better ways of doing it. And also with my full-time job, which I'm a project manager, it can be quite high pressure at times. So
that balance, isn't it? Getting
so the breathwork comes in handy a lot of the times.
Do you know why?
You know, when I'm sat at the table, I'm like, don't talk to me, give me 2 minutes.
Just kick in and start doing a bit of breathwork.
Just give me 1 minute here, mate. I need to do some breathing techniques.
Do you know what else I was going to ask you as well? You know, when you're doing your content and that?
Yeah.
How do you find doing your content when you've got your little, you know, your camera and stuff like that? Do you have a load of outtakes as well? You've got to do it again, or do you know when you're delivering for you, for the page and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When you're putting stuff out,
Yeah.
do you have to do it a couple of times? Or do you just bang straight away?
Do you know what? I do it spare of the moment. So like
It's not scripted, it's just bang there.
Yeah, so I do have a guy that does my content for me, right? And he comes to my sessions and the beaches and stuff like that, and he just gets loads of videos, and he creates little videos for me to push out, which is fantastic. But the forward-facing ones, it's just like
spit bang. It's there.
yeah, so like I'll be chatting, say me and you were chatting on the phone and we're having a good conversation, a bit deep, and I'll be like, actually that's a great idea that, and I'll be like, give us 2 minutes, Tony, and I'll just come off and I'll just set the camera up in the van and I'll just like, yeah, what's happening, the Chavvy Hippies, and I'll just do it, bang, straight off. So there might be a couple of takes within that, but I don't even like sort of go over what I'm going to say. I just kind of turn the camera on and
it's just off the cuff.
Yeah, I just literally, I press record and it just rolls.
What comes out what's in your mind and stuff like that.
And sometimes I watch it back and I'm like, that's shite that, but it's still going out because it's what I was thinking at the time.
You don't care. It's just putting it out.
Well, it has to be raw, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
it has to be relatable.
That's why people relate to it. You know what I mean? It's not scripted and whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we do some of these, a couple of times, I just go to pieces and stuff, and I'm sure he's got loads of outtakes, and I don't know why it happens. And I'm sure we'll put something together, and they'll go out and you'll see me, and I'm going, fuck that, you'll scream at it. But it is what it is. But what else I wanted to say, how can people obviously get in touch with you, with what you do, you know what I mean, with the sessions and stuff like that? Have you got a website, your socials and stuff like that? How can people contact you?
Yeah, so we've got Instagram, TikTok, we've got Facebook, so it's all the Chavvy Hippy, and then we've got a website, thechavvyhippy.co.uk. So we're on everything really.
All your events and stuff are on there, and everything that you.
So it's sort of like mixed in there really. So there's like an email subscription where you can keep up to date with things. All the events are live on the website as soon as they get released. They get pushed on the website, and then within the content, because I never want it to be a page where I'm just selling. I want to be pushing out that nice message, and then within that, you obviously got to advertise the events. But the purpose of the page isn't to sell tickets to events. The purpose of the page is to push a nice message, and potentially inspire a few people along the way.
Yeah,
and help. So the events are posted within the social pages, but a lot of it is just that nice message.
Out. And you're offering, what you're trying to do is help people, and look, there's ways of certainly what you're doing and your advice and stuff, and people get a lot from that. And at the events, if they want to go, they'll go, you know what I mean. It's the person who's delivering.
Yeah.
They feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I've only met you. I've spoke to you on the phone, and I've spoke to you, and it's like we've known each other, and you get that gist with people. Yeah, he's my type of fella. He's my type of guy, or he's my, my type of company and stuff like that. And that's why, you don't force these things on. If people want to go, they'll go. But it's the person that they want to go, and they feel comfortable around you. He's my type of person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You get people going and all that, and you can see you're a people person. Do you know what I mean? It's great that you've, and I know exactly what you're saying. It's not pushing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if people want to come, they'll come, and look at that. 3 people, but at one your beach events.
Yeah.
Then there's a fucking 130 of them, or 130 of them getting in the water, and I understand when you build something. When people say to you, people said to me with events, Tony, build it and he will come. And over the last 14 years or whatever, I was doing bits and bobs, and it's you start it, and you might have 50 people come, like to a comedy night or something or whatever. I remember we had that nights where it's been 450 there, and like you, I just stand back at the back and I just go, wow.
Yeah.
We've done this and stuff like that. So it's great in what you're doing. So on your socials, people can get in touch with you on all the Chavvy Hippy on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram and stuff like that, and the website. What's next for the Chavvy Hippy, and what are your dreams going forward?
I mean, obviously, this will probably go out after, but we have got the retreat in Ibiza, and that is going to be something that's going to be regular. So I'm really looking forward to getting a bit of a footprint in Ibiza. Magical island, best place on earth. It's, yeah, and to be able to deliver on that island is something special for me. So getting a bit of a footprint in Ibiza. I've already got people asking about when's the next retreat, which is fantastic. We've got like 15 people booked on this one coming from the UK.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that I'm really going to look forward to.
Do you know what you're saying about Ibiza? Right, I've got to ask you this. Because everyone says Ibiza's the island of fucking, you know, dancing and everything and all that. And what you're doing is like, you're doing this retreat over there. Is it like, you know, do you not think people might be tempted to, you know, they're on this retreat and they might go and...
Well, that's their decision, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I get that. But it was just a question I thought. I'm curious because is this like, you know, where, what's the name, to, like, to see if people can, you know, say for instance they've come on this retreat because they might have had a problem with drink or drugs or whatever it is. And Ibiza's like, you know, they always say it's the island. Well, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've just done 4 days with the lads. I mean, I don't drink anymore. I'm like 14 months sober now. So I had a great time. But part of the itinerary, like the rule is no drink, no drugs. We're going out on the Saturday night to High, but it's a sober night out. In the itinerary, it says sober night out, optional. Or like optional to come or not come. Not optional to come and drink or not drink. So yeah, like if people want to come and they want to buy a place for the retreat, but then I find out that they're going out getting pissed, then they won't be welcome in there.
Yeah, because it's not the message that you're trying to...
No, definitely not.
No, it's...
So yeah, really looking forward to getting that in for next year, and we're looking to do maybe 3 or 4 throughout the year over in Ibiza. Start a season, middle, end, maybe fit another one in between.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd have them every week, sort of like
like you say, build it and they will come.
That's
mate.
it, yeah.
No, that's it. But it's great that you're branching out and stuff. But then obviously, you know, listen, these things will... I think, you know, what you're doing, and like you're saying, you're getting a lot of interest and stuff, and you're going to places like that, and, you know, you're helping people, you know what I mean? And it's great that you can do that, you know what I mean?
Well, we have our ups and downs. Like, I done one in Liverpool, and I had 28 people at the first one. Yeah. So it was in the place where they do Shred Fast Heel. And we had 28 people at the first one. Then we done the second one and got 12 or 13, I think it was. And then we did another one. We only sold 1 ticket. And that's all part of it. That's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
And then I have to sort of like reevaluate. Right, okay. So what did we do different there? What did, you know, it's all part of that process, like, of evaluation. And is that right for us at the moment? Is it not right for us? Do we approach that in a different way? Like, is there a crowd for us in Liverpool? Maybe there is, you know, these are all evaluations that we're constantly, because when people come, they realise that they're truly special events, what we've created. Are they for everyone? Are they for certain areas? I don't know. So we just keep pushing and we keep on finding out where's right for us. Where, you know, at the moment we've got Chesterley Street, we've got Middlesbrough, we've got Hartlepool, which are all local to me, which are all going really well. Middlesbrough, obviously my area, so that will be forever. And we're just constantly looking at new places, right? Okay, because we've got a half-day retreat on in Otley, which is in Leeds, right? Okay, let's have a look at that. Let's try that out. Does it work?
Testing the water, innit?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another part of it. We're constantly just testing out new ways of getting the Chavvy Hippy out there.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a constant just trial and error, isn't it?
Of course, it's like
and
any trial and error.
Yeah.
What's family life today? What's family life like today? You Mrs. Rachel and stuff like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Honestly, it really is. I've got my amazing family. Like,
Yeah.
there's only like 8 or 9 of us. And that's including like 3 kids.
But you're all...
Oh, so tight. Yeah, so we've got that. And then obviously now Rachel's came into that.
It was Rachel who reached out. I think
no.
She messaged me. She messaged the what's the name? And,
yeah.
And I just and then I was like, and that's how I come across really. And I was just watching and stuff. And she spoke like very, what's the name of you, mate? And she's just like very inspiring and inspirational what you do in your local community. But then you sort of, you know, what's the name and out and stuff. And
yeah,
she spoke so what's the name of you and stuff. And you know, it's great in what you're creating, but also you've got a missus who's backing you, you know what I mean? Because if you've got your missus backing you, you know, you've got a winning team there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, we actually met at my first ever indoor event that I threw. So her mate bought her a ticket, but I know her best mate. She's like a DJ over in Ibiza. And she brought her, and then we were just spending time as mates. But every time I was with her, I felt like honoured. Yeah, that like I'd got her as a friend, and it sort of just went from there really. And yeah,
the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah, and then obviously she just stalked me enough for a little bit, you know.
When this goes out, she'll be giving you the dig.
I know, yeah.
No, but that's brilliant that you've connected and you're together, and like I say, she's in your corner. And
yeah, she is. She's massively. Yeah, our relationship's fantastic, mate, and we back each other 100%. You know, she's got a couple of businesses, and she inspires me.
Yeah.
You know, and like I get to back her with what she's doing and with her staff, and you know, I get on really well with her staff, and they come to the self-love sessions, and I'm doing one-to-ones with one of them to try and tune her into her true potential of who she can be, and within that true potential means that she's gonna be better for herself and better for the business and better all around. So I'm lucky because I get to do that with her as well. You know,
she's part of it, isn't she?
Yeah, and it's fantastic. So family life's I'm very blessed. I'm so blessed, mate. Yeah, no, so blessed.
That's brilliant to hear and stuff. Like I say, it's great to hear. But what's in the pipeline for the Chavvy Hippy?
So I've just started doing one-to-ones, which was something that I'd never really felt the calling for. And one lad basically he begged me to do one, and he sent me a message afterwards, and like a couple of days later, and I just, after reading the message, I was like, I need to be doing this.
Because some people might be not comfortable doing it in a group session.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like,
yeah.
But it's because that's, you know, like a lot of people might not feel comfortable doing a group session where, you know, there's like 8, 10.
Yeah.
What you doing a one-to-one, and then you're saying you've got that message, and then you thought, wow, it's blew me away that.
Yeah.
And it sort of puts it into perspective, thinking, right, okay, this is the way, you know, we can sort of.
I guess, I don't know whether I hadn't had the calling for it, or maybe I was questioning myself. I don't really know, but after doing the first one and getting that feedback, like, I just thought, right, okay, I need to be doing this. And I want to start pushing onto online. I want to start. I've had this fantastic idea for an app for a long time, or an online platform that I've been working on. But yeah, probably financial holds me back a little bit. So I don't know if I'm maybe need an investor or just something that I've been looking at. So I am gonna push on online in the later in the.
Get on Dragon's Den, I think, and get one of the Dragons to invest, because listen, mate, I think you'd blow it away doing your pitch on there, the Chavvy Hippy on there. But No, listen.
Actually, there's a little secret for you there. I went and interviewed for The Apprentice, and I got the last stages of The Apprentice.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was? Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd never watched it before. My mate basically put my name forward, and I got there, and everyone was in a suit.
Don't tell me you're not
apart from me.
No.
What did I have on? Just like a pair of like combats and like just a round neck t-shirt, and everyone there three-piece suit on and all that. And I was like, oh shit. Well, I was like shit, and then I was like, well, actually, this is me. So, but yeah, I got to the last stages, and then never got the. So I got to the stage where you would. The next stage is the show.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't get back to me. Yeah.
No
So there's a little secret.
No, it's right. That's brilliant. But yeah, so like I say, everyone can contact you for through your socials and stuff. We want to get in touch.
Yeah.
The Chavvy Hippy, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
And obviously you got the website as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Michael, like I say, is there anything else you want to touch on or anything that you promote?
I think one of the main things that we do talk about is, you've got the Chavvy and the Hippy, and the whole thing with this brand, if you like, was to collide the two worlds and show that there's no stigma, there's nothing that should hold anyone back. Like whether you wear your trousers tucked into your socks, or whether you wear bamboo pants, whether you have a short back and sides or you have long braided hair, like there's no stigma, there's no one particular person that can be doing this. It's all this whole thing. It is spiritual work, but it's also self-progression. It's the same as having a PT. Having someone guide you through a meditation is the same as having a PT guide you through a gym session. And yeah, the reason why we collided the two worlds was to show that no matter how you dress, no matter how you look, no matter how you act, there's always a place within self-progression for you,
Yeah.
And listen, just try it. I'm not saying it's for everyone. Everyone doesn't align with everything that I'm doing. But without trying something, you'll just never know.
Yeah.
So no matter your background, no matter your upbringing, no matter what you're doing now, just give it a go. Give it a go and see if it benefits you. And if it doesn't, call me out on it.
Listen, mate, I just want to say I really appreciate, you coming on and, opening up and got to know you a little bit more, and exactly who the Chavvy Hippy is and stuff, and what the Chavvy Hippy, stands for and stuff, and the backstory, and it's been really interesting, and I'm sure to God a lot of people will reach out, and you'll have many more people coming and attending your show, your events and stuff like that. But listen, I just want to say thanks very much for sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thanks very much, Lara.
Pleasure.
Thank you.